Hello and welcome to the stream. Had a bit of a later start because the camera kept breaking. It was very, very rough. 5 minutes before stream, it just disconnected and it kept disconnecting, and I had to fully shut down my computer and let it sit for several minutes and restart it. But hopefully it'll stay on. It's kind of annoying though because I actually got the camera image to finally get fixed. And the fact that you can see how, like, right here, how it bends. I got that fixed, and then the camera broke, and I had to restart the computer, and it just completely wiped away all the progress I made. It fucking... I don't know what the hell happened. I'm sorry that it's a late stream. But, let's get started on some of the prep. We're building the Gyan, as you hopefully saw. The model, I always found the Gyan, I always like the successors to the Gyan, or the, like, modified Gyans. The picture on the cover looks really good, but let me see if I can show you the Gyan proper. The Gyan looks nice, but I always found that, like, it's shoulders that are shoulders and not shoulder pads combined with... Let's not lose these stickers, hold up. Wow, that's reflective. Actually, let's not get those stickers out right now. But I always find like it's a little pinhead, a little weird. The shield is cool. The shield is actually a projectile weapon. It shoots all these little things are like needles and are like needles that like the whole shield is technically like filled with them. So it's not just like these fire. It has like a crap load of ammo, and then it has I think at least one volley of these, and I think these are all missiles. Let us get started on the prep, and thing is, let me see here. Okay, that's just gonna be covered, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of prep here, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a 1-year war mech, so it's a little simpler, a little more simple. Yeah. Ooh. Actually a pretty cool concept, and actually I really like how they expanded on it with the... It's not the Gia Gia, it's the Jarja. The Gia Gia is technically a Jarja, is just a custom Jarja. But what the Jarja is like what they did is they took the shield and they made it into shoulder pads. And they kind of changed the head up a little. Like they refined the design so it's a little less late 70s and more 80s. I really like it. Ooh. I'm just trying to find areas to... Okay, we can definitely panel line here. Oh, we can certainly panel line these spots. Okay. I found the areas to panel line. I think this might be a shorter panel lining, though. Uh-oh. Get out. Paper towels. I'll just... Oh, God. Let me see if I can adjust the lighting a little. Wow, that's frustrating. The lighting is, like, perfectly positioned to just make it so that you cannot see that head properly. Ba-ba-ba. Ooh, and adjusting the lighting actually fucked up my face tracking, so I actually have to put it back. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Hello, Godzilla. How you doing? Yeah, the shoulders, I said earlier how the shoulders, I find a little awkward because the shoulders are like rounded like they're shoulder pads, but they aren't. So they kind of like in this awkward in-between where they look like pauldrons, but just are just really fat shoulders. But the Gyan does have a get out of jail free card in the fact that it is an experimental or prototype suit. So any of its kind of awkward nature can just be kind of hand waved away with that. Not a mass production suit. That's also how you can kind of explain how it just kind of has like it's a jetpack on its back. It's just like a rocketeer jetpack. It's super simple there. Like it's just two tanks on it. It's just two like propane ass looking tanks on its back. It's endearing. It would look nice with a little shoulder cape. Would look nice with like a little Gundam Rose French shoulder cape. God, I wish I had a Gundam Rose. Why did that have to be premium Bandai? Ooh. Like, I could understand, like, the lesser-known Gundams from G Gundam being P Bandai, but, like, why are, like, the main supporting cast all P Bandai? Why is the Maxter P Bandai? Why is the Dragon Gundam P Bandai? It's so weird. Okay. Let's try to get these spots. I found the music to expand the library for the background music. However, just didn't have enough time before stream to check the music, but I did find the Dvorak, or I don't know how you pronounce it, but the music you recommended, Opus. It's a Japanese company, so I'm just gonna guess that they just weren't aware of how popular G Fighter was G Gundam was in the West. So they didn't realize that they had a very, very good market for it. It's just what I have to guess is why. I just have to guess it's not as big in Japan. But in the West, it was, I think, the first official translation. And I think shortly followed by Gundam Wing, which is why G Fighter and Gundam Wing are considered such classics in the West. Because it was a lot of people's first Gundams were those two, because they were just the earliest translated. Then I think they started translating the 1 Year War, and I'm not really sure what was after that. They are expanding into the West. I think Shog said that they might even... I don't know if she said that they might make a distribution center or a factory. I'm not quite sure which one she said. She said that, like, they're expanding into North America with one or the other. And both would be a pretty big deal. I mean, Hobby Lobby over the last, 3 or 4 years, I've seen how they've expanded their Gunpla selection, and it has been pretty wild. Like, they used to have on their shelves, it would be like 2 Gunpla in the hobby, in like the model building section. It would just be like 2 Gunpla. Now it's like, God, it's like a 1/5 of like the entire of one side of the alley, or whatever you call it. You know, you have a lot of selections, and Hobby Lobby, if you see like a kit there, you're pretty secure in being able to go like, oh yeah, I can just come back like later in the month after payday and get it. There's a lot of flexibility in getting the stuff at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobbies won't have those like super rare kits that you want typically, but usually the stock is pretty reliable. Yeah. It's pretty nice. There we go. Feel like this is an area I'm gonna have to come back to, and yeah, I should have just painted that with a black Vallejo. Kind of a shame. Ooh, this area right here of how detailed it is. That's like nice mechanical detailing. You can tell these are supposed to be heat sinks or I don't know what. Actually, I know the thrusters in Gundam are often called Verniers, but I don't know if the heat sinks have any special term in Gundam. But these are like obviously supposed to be like heat sinks uh, that are covered by these vents right here. So it's like nice that they have that mechanical detail, but we're not going to be painting it today. Ooh. But it is pretty cool that they include that. This is a 2.0 high grade, so I'm happy to see that they did go that extra distance. And I don't know why that overflowed like that. Favorite mobile suit? That's an easy question. I am a massive Zaku stan. I have on my shelf, just over there, I have a Char's Master Grade Zaku. I have a Zaku 1. I have a Zaku FZ, I think they're called. I can never remember like the variants. But the one from War in the Pocket. I have the one from Stardust Memories, the F2 or whatever. I can't quite remember the designations. I have Zaku the Origin, Char's mobile suit. I have 2 high grade 17s. No, 3 high grade 17 Zakus. I have 1 high grade 240 Zaku. I have several Zakus that are just in boxes, ready to be built from Gundam the Origin. I'm a massive Zaku fan. I am very, very much a Zaku fan. Even before I was into Gundam, I thought the Zaku had a really, really good design because I thought it balanced aesthetics with pragmatic mechanical design very well. So for me, it's just the Zaku 2. The Zaku 2 and the variants are just my favorite. If I had to pick, though, my favorite variant of the Zaku 2... Oh, thank you for the follow. I hope you enjoy your time here. But if my favorite variant for the Zaku... Let's see here. That's actually a bit of a more difficult question to answer. It might be the Stardust Memories one. But I'm a little biased because the Stardust Memories Zaku 2 is the first Zaku that I actually... It's the first high grade that I actually built. The first actual gunpla I built was the entry grade American type Mark 72 Mark 78-2, the grandpa. And I have no idea where that is actually. I should probably keep better track of that. See here. We'll get out the Vallejo. There's not a lot of places to panel line, so I think getting out the Vallejo won't hurt. Actually... Oh, thank God I actually got out the Vallejo, because that's where our nippers were. That paint's still wet. I don't need to get out new paint. Oh, but I need to get out new water. I'll just put this down here for the moment. Actually, wait a minute. I have a Zaku right here. And it's actually going to be up for voting in July for red, white, and blue. Which one is this? This is, it's a custom. You bringing up Dozels remind me of this one. Who was your pilot? It's the high mobility custom. It's the white high mobility custom. I'm trying to figure out what... I think it's Dozels in the background. Well, I have this for July. You're going to be able to vote on this. Gundam the Origin prototype of the Goof. And the Amazing Red Warrior for red, white, and blue. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh. I was confused because I thought the name of the guy was just on it, but I don't see the pilot anywhere. Which is weird, because normally the pilot's advertised front and center. Probably, you know what, his name's probably in the massive paragraph of Japanese. That's probably where his name is. That's frustrating. Let's get out the palette, though. You were quick on that. I know that the custom I just showed was actually a recolor of... Oh no! I need pomade. I have pomade right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna need to get a new brush because I have to use pomade like every time I get this brush out. It's just not... It's just on its last legs. Let me get the pomade off the gloves so they don't look weird and shiny. Zeon, yeah! Oh god, I need to re-record... I need to re-record the Zeon speech I made for the... What was it again? I think it was the final... It was either the first part or the final part of the Zabi street, build. I made a Zeon speech that I was very proud of, but I need to re-record it for better audio, and I need to edit it. Let's see here. It's kind of a good thing that I first did the panel liner. It filled in the edges for me. I can be a little more conservative with the painting. The thing about the Zeon kits is that the Zeon kits were allowed to be less toyetic than the Federation kits, because the Federation kits also had to, you know, be marketable as part of the original deal for the original Gundam. Ooh. Ooh, but the Zeon kits, to my understanding, could just be whatever they wanted. They were the villains. They could be designed to be a little less marketable, which ironically made them more marketable to some people. But they could just be a little more free, open in their design. They could be more rounded, you know? The Gundam had to be more blocky for ease of manufacturing, while the Zaku could just be a round fat boy. Could just be beautiful, big, and large. The gym has a lot of great variants. Ooh. Like, the standard gym is meant just to be, well, a simplified Gundam in more ways than one. It's meant to kind of just visually be there in many aspects. Ooh, but there's also something appealing about that. Just, you know, take all the pretense away from the Gundam. You know, take all the toyetic nature away from the Gundam and just make a cold, hard war machine. And there's an appeal in that in itself. Can we film this up, please? Thank you. And there's an appeal in that itself, just having just the bare machine. While... Here. That's ugly as... That is ugly as hell. I'm gonna need to clean that off stream. But the variants of the gym are amazing. Like, just because... it's such a blank canvas because it's so simplified from the Gundam. Because you take away so much from the Gundam, it allows you to put so much back onto it for the like gym sniper or the gym custom and whatnot, that it's able to like have its own identity from the Gundam, which is just really nice about it. The original Gundam series, for how limited it was pretty impressive quality-wise. I know that might sound like a joke because there's a lot of famous, really bad stills from it, and I'm aware of those stills. I watched the original Gundam in full. But I'm more talking about the fact that just, like, there are low moments, but there are also pretty high moments for the animation, and considering when it was made, I actually thought it was, like, a mid-80s anime when I was watching it. So when I found out it was a late 70s, I was like, this is actually kind of impressive, like the quality of it. Ooh. Like, I thought it was a mid-budget 80s anime. Oh. All a matter of perspective, I suppose. Gym is a good template just to build off of. It's the Sherman. My brother describes it like this, and I pretty much agree. It is just the Sherman tank of mobile suits. Ooh. Where there's just where both tactically and like design-wise, that's all it is. You want to have like 1,000 different variants, you have 1,000 different variants. You want to just build 1,000, just want to build hundreds of gyms to overwhelm the enemy, you build hundreds of gyms to overwhelm the enemy. We don't need tactics to beat Zeon. We have child soldiers, bro. You love the Gym Striker weird beam lancer thing. I love the beam weaponry of the 1 Year War because it's so experimental. And I love what comes after. I love the other Universal Century stuff, but I always felt like they developed into beam weaponry too quickly. That's kind of one of the things I like about Iron-Blooded Orphans, is that beam weaponry is almost non-existent. It is, I think, only the mobile armor is the only thing I can think of that has beam weaponry. And it's kind of refreshing just having a Gundam where it's just all ballistics and melee. Ooh. There's something really, really nice about that. But I do love the kind of like old beam guns of the 1 Year War. Did it? And I should paint that. I don't want to, but I should paint the inlets right here. And the question is, how am I going to paint these? I think Phil will do well enough. But I actually do wonder what has more variants, the Zaku 2 or the Gym. I would not be surprised if the gym has more variants than the Zaku's do. This is because it kind of because Zeon had multiple mobile suits, but by the end of the war, really, the Federation really did just go like, and here's our gym. And here's our gym that does something slightly different. And here's our gym that does something slightly different from that. And here's our gym that does, like, it really was that. I'm actually kind of putting myself on the spot. I'm having trouble thinking of other mobile suits that the Federation deployed in mass production during the 1 Year War. That's how you, that is just how overwhelming the gym was. You have a good rest of your night if you can't make it back, my dude. You have an excellent rest of your night, regardless, Godzilla. I would call you Zilla, but at least in the States, Zilla is more synonymous with well, in the States and Japan, Zilla is more synonymous with the Roland Emmerich one. Ooh. And though I do not have as much of a negative opinion on the Roland Emmerich Godzilla, I still wouldn't want to call you that without your okay. The silly movie. It's crazy though, because if you actually look into behind the scenes for for Emmerich's Godzilla in, I think it was 98, there's actually, before that, they had one planned for more earlier in the 90s, a Godzilla American movie. And they made a statuette of Godzilla for concept art, and it just looks really good, and it's really frustrating. Oh, thank you for the sub. Ooh. I hope you're enjoying the stream. We're just talking about, well, we were talking about Gunpla, but I kind of did a tangent about Godzilla. Oh, please get back there. Thank you. I need to update my notifications. They're old as hell. Okay, ooh. Okay, Gundam 24. You did it? You're building a Zaku 2 at the moment? Always go with the Zaku 2s. Ooh. Love Zaku 2s. As I said earlier, I have a lot of Zaku 2s. I think it's easier for me to state the Zaku 2s I'm missing from my collection than the Zaku 2s that I have. So what ones am I missing? I am missing the Red Tri-Stars High Mobility Zaku 2s and the Zeon Remnant F2 Zaku 2s. And I am missing both of Char's high-grade Zaku 2s. Ooh. And in Gundam The Origin, I'm not really sure if I'm missing actually any... I might actually have all the Zakus in Gundam The Origin, which would be surprising. I don't have all the Zaku ones, but... no, I don't have the black Tri-Stars. What the hell am I talking about? I don't have any black Tri-Stars now that I think about it. I don't even have a Dom. That one's not for lack of trying. I just can't find Doms anywhere. I one time found, I forget what it's called, but the successor to the Dom from Double Zeta Gundam. Its name is escaping me, but I really liked it. But I never had money to buy it whenever I saw it, and then I just don't see it around anymore. That's always annoying when you have a kit that just mocks you like that. I should get a Tri-Star, but really I just don't think I've seen a Tri-Star in my defense. I think that's really all there is to it. I just haven't seen a Tri-Star, and I try not to go and order things online if I can help it. which is why I don't have the Xeon Remnant F2 and why I don't have the other things. Ooh. I just try not to order offline, and no, that panel lining just did not take at all. That is frustrating. Yeah, I've shown that earlier. It is a beautiful kit, and I'll be honest, I kind of hope in July, when I put up to a vote for you guys to say what we're building for July, I'm gonna be honest, that's the one I hope you guys vote for. I try not to say that typically, but I mean, it's a Zaku too. It's kind of obvious. But it has good competition. It's gonna be up against the amazing Red Warrior, which was very, very popular last time it was on a poll. So I don't know who's gonna win that one. Yeah. I know some places that I go to that have pretty fair pricing, so I'm not too worried about that. I suppose I'm fortunate about that at least. Ooh. And I get a good selection because whenever I go see family, I get to go and see those Gunpla stores as well, which are often either, well, to see family. My apologies. To see family, I have to go a pretty fair distance, but I still try to see them as much as I can because it's family. But actually, this weekend I should be going to a hobby store in where I can't say because that would be doxing. But I might be getting new Gunpla just this week actually. Because on Sunday I'm seeing my brother. So I am excited about that. And are we actually done with the prep? That was quicker. Hold up. That prep, we might have a little bit more, but that prep might be quicker than what we did for this guy. The Sigrun. And I have the Sigrun out, not simply because that's the last build we did, but because when we're done with the Gyan, I want to do a comparison because the Sigrun is obviously patterned after the Gyan. Amazing build if you ever get to see the Sigrun. I would definitely recommend it. Oof. I just don't think panel liner is gonna show up very well on this. We're gonna do a coat of panel liner just to see if it looks fine or not. If you're talking about the Sigrun for simpler kit, both these kits are actually pretty simple. I mean, this, not counting the shield and whatnot, this is only like 3 sprues, which is kind of surprising, but it's also a 1-year war kit. But the Sigrun was very simple, but also incredibly satisfying to build. The Sigrun was very, very satisfying to build for how simple it was, and it is actually probably the best Iron-Blooded Orphan kit I have, but I think I've only built Gundams, actually, from Iron-Blooded Orphan. Yeah, I've only built Barbatoses, and I've only built Kimaruses. Which is a little weird in hindsight, but that's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget about it. ARW. Yeah, the Gyan, I actually forgot to mention that. The Gyan is real fucking cheap for a kit. It's, if you get it at, like, Hobby Lobby on sale, it would probably be, like, $10, but if you get it from other retailers, it's only gonna be, like, at most $15, at absolute most $16. If you see a Gyan for more than $20, they are robbing you. Like, that's highway robbery. Ooh. Like, even if you're a fan of the Gyan, I'd just be like, nah, just on a matter of principle. don't touch a Gyan that's over like $20. That's so like that is extraordinarily overpriced. Like yeah, it's like in retail, like its price is like $10 as you said, but in retail it's like about 15 in hobby stores. Probably be 12 on a sale, $11 or 12 on a sale week if it was at a Hobby Lobby. I got this from a local hobby store though, so it was about, I think it was 16 bucks this guy. I think it was $15.99. Real lower price. You might be wondering why am I bothering doing this? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I think I'm doing it just to see if I can. I think it really is just that simple. Not the funnest process, I'll admit, because I have to literally re-wet. I have to get a new dollop of paint on the brush every time I do this. There we go. Stay focused, camera. Okay. And then... Actually, the backpack for this might be a good basis for the Rocketeer. If you made like a Rocketeer-based gunpla. Wonder what you'd use for the head of that. I want something with a head fin. Yeah. Yeah, ooh. A VTuber friend of mine, Shogmommy, actually, she has, like, where she goes, like, her local place for gunpla is, like, always overpriced, from what I understand. It's, like, it's kind of more of a convenience charge, to be fair. Because it's like, oh, hey, I don't have to drive to the city and spend $15 on gas. But that just means the gunpla where I buy them locally are like $15 more. And it doesn't sound like it's a great selection to begin with, though. Ooh. But she still finds some pretty interesting kits. She's actually, before this stream, she was doing her own stream. And that was for the Super Deformed Nightingale. Which honestly looks like it has better proportions than the normal Nightingale. No hate on the Nightingale, I love the Nightingale, it's my favorite high grade. But it's kind of funny that the Super Deformed has better proportions. And I think we can just go straight into building. I do want to do one little thing before we go into building. And that is... I want to clean this off. Ooh, that's actually not what I wanted to clean off, though. I wanted to get a little bit of lighter fluid. Ah! Wonderful. Just clean this part off. Get some panel liner got on it. This is the presentation. Ooh. This is the presentation and handcam board. So I want to try to keep it clean at least. No, I'm not, for pricing, no, because again, I get to see family, and I, again, try to see my family, at least part of my family, once a month. So I get to go and, like, just check out hobby stores all the time. Actually, last visit to my family... Where are we going? Okay. I saw my family... I almost said where they live. That'd be very stupid. But I saw my family and I decided to go to the big city, not the city, because I'm not going to go into details, but there's 3 cities I go to. There's the city, there's hell, and then there's the big city. And I went to the big city and went to a hobby store there, and actually I found the Psycho Gundam Mark II, which I was really surprised that they had. I can't show that one off on camera for very obvious reasons. It's way too massive. But I'm very happy about that. Oof. And I'm a little annoyed by one thing. It has nothing to do with the Psycho Mark II. But it's the fact that it probably won't be built until October, as stupid as that might sound. Simply because it's such a big build, I'm probably going to need a whole month. And the only month... Last year I built the Psycho Gundam in October. So if I don't build it by October, we're building it by October is more what I'm saying. Ooh. And let's get these. But I'm excited about that. It looks really, really cool, and I really can't wait to do a direct comparison with the Psycho Gundam, because the Psycho Gundam is really old, and it's kind of only worth having because it's either the Psycho Gundam or just kind of an antique of its time. It's more of a novelty to have in the modern day to have the Psycho Gundam Mark I, in my opinion. Just because how old it is, and those are both the wrong... I just cut off the wrong polycaps like an idiot. But I'm really excited to see how the Psycho Gundam Mark II is modern. Like, it won't have massive polycaps, for one thing. And if you're wondering how big the Psycho Gundam is, it is, I think, half a centimeter or a centimeter shorter than a perfect grade. Yeah, the Psycho Gundam is a lot cheaper, thank God. It's like, I think in retail it's like 50 or 40 bucks, which is pretty insane. Considering how big of a kit it is, but then when you open it up and see how kind of simple it is and you're reminded of how old it is, you're like, okay. However, the Psycho Mark II wasn't that expensive. It was a little over twice the price I had to get it at, but I think it was only like 110 bucks where I got it, which is pretty good because I thought it was going to be like $200 wherever I found it, but I'm just going to be happy with what I found as it found its price as. Give me 1 second, I need to get... Don't worry about that. You didn't even hear anything, so I don't even need to tell you to not worry. God, we got all the prep done within an hour again. I'm not complaining, it's just makes me a little concerned this is going to be another 2-day build. Which is going to be awkward because I don't know what the hell we're doing next week then. Because next week we have a collab on Monday. We might not actually be doing a gunpla next week anyways, so... Merrick, what are you doing? Can you not fucking find the piece? Thank you. Okay, sorry for the cursing. Ooh, no. Actually, the Psycho Gundam was, I think... Yeah, it was the first gunpla kit that I also did panel lining on, so... It'll be fun to see how much I've improved on customizing and, well, really just panel lining, because I usually don't customize the kit much at all. But it'll be nice to see how I do on the panel lining. Ooh. For the... Oh, I'm gonna have to re-check out Double Zeta Gundam to see what Play 2, or Pura 2's new type aura looks like. Because for the Gundam Mark... for the Psycho Gundam, I gave it... I forget her name. Shit. I gave it blue panel lining for the pilot. I gave it light blue panel lining for the aura of the pilot. And it actually turned out pretty nice, considering it's my first time. See here. Okay. You forgot to say earlier to Opus, if he's still here, that I actually watched the first episode of Andor. Because he actually asked me to watch that, I think, almost a year ago. And I told him I'd wait until next May. Because this is supposed to be Star Wars month. We've done nothing Star Wars related. You guys, I gave you the option to vote for X-Wings and... What else did I give you? And Imperial Walkers, and you guys were like, no. We want the Gyan, and we want the Sigrun. So, you guys kinda killed Star Wars month. I was gonna play Bounty Hunter, and I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Ah, that's where we're going. I need to get the top armor. I always, actually, speaking of retrospective, I always compare the build that we finished to the one that we did last time. Ooh, I always like that. Sometimes it's in theme, like how this is going to be compared to the Sigrun. Other times it's just like, here's a kit that has nothing to do with this one, but you know what? It's fun. Yeah, it's a nice thing just to look back on your improvements. Actually, this week I need to double down on some practice I need to do because I went through some private stuff, so I can't go into detail. Some private stuff happened over the last, really, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks. And so I'm really, really behind on my drawing practice. So I need to really double down on that. Maybe we'll do a drawing stream on Thursday. Wait, no, we're doing a drawing stream on Friday. Crap. I mean, that's good, but... we might do a handcam drawing stream on Thursday. Let's see here. Da-da-da. Did I already cut? I already cut that off. I was a little too prepared. Man, what was the point? Okay, no, there was a point. So I was checking out the verniers, and because it's gray, it's black on gray. I thought there wasn't much of a difference, but it was just the light reflecting off of it. I mean, it is kind of not much of a difference, but still. Understandable that it does not have a movable mono eye. I think that's everything. Okay. Though I did enjoy the Sigrun, and it's probably my favorite IBO kit, I will admit it has the worst sticker I've come across in a gunpla kit, and I'm sure there are worse, I know, but I'm saying worst I've come across because it has... Ooh, I just want to go on a tangent real quick. Its head... Give me you. It has these right here, these eyes, which I don't know if you can see very well. All of those are stickers, which you have to be very precise in applying. And then, you see that little bit of green in here? That's a sticker, and it absolutely sucks to put on. Because it actually has to bend around. It has to go on the side and then bend under, and it's just terrible. It's god-awful, so I'm happy that this just has a mono eye sticker and a gray flat sticker that goes somewhere. Here, let me show you. Like it just has these these 3 stickers. I'm actually not quite sure what this... I'm not really sure what the other one is for. Is it just a backup mono eye? Yeah, it looks like it's just a... if you just want a different sized mono eye sticker. I think that's all it is. If you probably won't even use the stickers, because we have... Kind of ruins the reveal when I have to just stop for a half second and find it. Oh shit. Oh shit, wait a minute. We have, it wasn't in the drawer. We have Char Pink, or is it called Char Pink? Yes. It's called Pink for Char Aznable. Because every color, I feel like every color of red should be some kind of, should just have a reference to Char. Nobody else deserves the color red in all of Gundam. It should just all be Chars. Every shade. What? Ooh. It was rough. It was rough putting on those stickers. I had to use the tweezers. I don't know if it's possible to put on any of those stickers without tweezers. Not even lying, because to put the sticker on, we need to put this head back on because I'm gonna lose it if it's not back on. But to put the visor sticker on, it's not like, it's too thin for even a fingernail. I swear to God, to put it on. You have to have tweezers to put on all of those stickers. It's rewarding that I got them all in place correctly, but it's definitely not... Definitely don't build that kit if it's your first time doing stickers, or if you're not used to stickers. Even though it's a simple kit overall, that will just absolutely ruin you. Because sadly, those stickers are kind of necessary for the overall feel of the kit. Now let's put these on. If Merrick would... Oh. Okay. I was able to watch Andor. I did not have time to watch Gundam X today, which disappointed me. I barely had enough time to watch Andor. But hopefully on Wednesday, when we have part 2 for this build, I'll have watched some Gundam X and we can talk about Gundam X. Oh, that's an idea. I can just... I don't think I can finish Gundam X in a week. I only have half the series to go, but I've been so busy I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish it. But did I fuck that up? I did fuck that up. Why did I do that? Why do you do this, Merrick? Merrick, why would you do this to yourself? Let's get a part separator out. Yeah, they are very... Yeah, that's one thing you have to be careful about. Like, you have to use tweezers, but you have to be gentle with the tweezers, because you can very easily strip those, shiny stickers, those foily shiny stickers very easily. Which is why I said that you don't want to be inexperienced with stickers if you're putting that on. You want to have some good experience of just being patient and having a steady hand. If you're like, I don't have a steady hand, nobody has a steady hand. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. Very few people actually have a steady hand. The real thing is that a lot of times when people are doing things, they're propping their hand against something. So, like when I'm painting, a lot of times my arm will be here and that will be the base. I'll very rarely be freehanding. I can't freehand at all, even when drawing, and I have a lot of experience drawing. See here? And these are all internal pieces, so I just don't care if there's sprues. B16 and B18. They just need to be flush, they don't need to be pretty, because they're internal. And... the people who sand even the internal pieces, I respect you. But also you might want to get medical help. That shit's insane. Ooh. Sanding pieces that nobody will ever see. It's just like, I just have to have a perfect kit. Again, I respect it, but I can't do that. Let's see here. You're telling me to put it on, but I don't think you're appreciating how these are literally look identical. Actually, right now on Twitch, it's saying my bitrate's really low, which is annoying, because on YouTube it's fine. Ooh. So either, you know, sometimes I can have, like, really good bitrate, I can have over 6,000, really clean, and Twitch will still be like, your bitrate is in the gutter, and I'll look at it and it'll be like 6,000, and I'm like, what's wrong with it? And then the next day, I'll have bitrate that's like, you know, the exact same number, and it'll just be like, this is keen, man. You got perfect bitrate, and I just don't get it. The feedback for the bitrate, I just don't understand on Twitch. There we go. A little confusing. And we need... Oh, no, we have the pieces on. Okay. Can't believe I just put this together. I literally was looking at those gaps when I was putting it together, and I just was on autopilot. See here. I'm happy the head is slightly sunken. Really helps with the design when the Gyan has more of a collar or sunken head. That helps with the weight of the kit. You need to put on the shoulder pads first, actually, it looks like. Looks like you go on that. Not shoulder pads, the armpit covers. I don't really know what to call them, really. Then this goes here. Why the hell did I stop watching Gundam Zero? Gundam Zero? What the fuck is wrong with it? Sorry for cursing. Gundam X. Gundam Zero isn't even a thing. That's 00, Merrick. What the hell are you talking about? I don't know why I stopped watching it. I think I just got busy. I think it's just that simple and that annoying. Yeah, but it happens with every kit, I suppose. Come on. Ah, there we go. That's a 1-year war kit. That's the best we're gonna do for an ab crunch. Yeah, that's a 1-year war kit. Which way do you go? Oh, no, we had it correct. Come on. Beautiful. Okay, on camera that looks... The reflection isn't as bad. The contrast is a little more appreciable. This is adorable for a jetpack. Oh, damn it, there was a piece we missed. I was gonna comment on the gap, but it looks like the gap is not meant to be there. That gap was so moe. Okay, time to cover its gap moe. There we go. Oh no, it's still gonna have the gap, I think. Oh yeah, it still has a gap. Ooh, look at it. This has this little gap. And let's build the head. And even this feels like it's going by quickly. Yeah, this is gonna be a 2-day build. We're gonna be done on Wednesday, definitely. I should not be doing that off camera, but an important piece, I wanted to be precise. Let me mix up the paint. And we're gonna try to paint it first. If we fail at painting it, we'll just clean it off and... Ooh. And just go with the traditional sticker. So I like the paint because the paint's very nice and reflective. and also it can bead like that, so it can have kind of definition in and of itself. Have a little bit extra definition. Shit. Sorry for cursing. You can't assemble it because the paint needs to dry. I'm just gonna put this. I need to put it somewhere that can hold it, and it won't. There we go. Ooh. So it can just sit there while the paint dries. Let's close this back up. I could have gotten a Jarja, now that I think about it. But instead I decided to get a Gia. That was almost very stupid of me. Let's build the arm while we wait for that to dry. Is my brain melting, or... Ah, okay, so that's why we have B2. For symmetry. Okay. That means if we want to do a simul build, though, we're gonna have to move this to somewhere else. Let's move this, and where's the other one? The other one is right here, of course, in the worst place it can be. And... doing good. Let's see what... only cap 9. Rajra. Whatever. Sorry that I was calling the Jarja, but whatever. Oh, wait, no. It's a bit wonky. Oh, that's disappointing. I like the design, but I guess the pilot's a bit wonky, so it's fair. Shara is the prototype of crazy Gundam women, and we love her here. Ooh. A lot of Double Zeta Gundam doesn't get enough love. I know people love it, but I don't think it gets enough love in like the meta of Gundam, because a lot of things that we take for granted in Gundam were kind of tested in Double Zeta. Like crazy as all hell Gundam women. Ooh. Charo really is just a template. What's that? You got just a multi-personality, just have a multi-personality disorder for like almost no reason, just out of nowhere. Cool. What does it take that? Use it for Lady Un. Trying to seduce underage characters? Aw, dude, we can reuse that in Gundam X. Chara was not on the baddie tier list. Sorry, I made a tier list of baddies, of just, you know, femme fatales and baddies. Chara wasn't on it. I just realized that. That is such an omission. God, I can literally make a list out of all the women I forgot to put on the baddie tier list. I'm so upset. Though, I feel like the most embarrassing thing will always be the fact that on the baddie tier list, I have in the thumbnail for the baddie tier list, I have Nico Robin. And I forgot to put Nico Robin on the tier list. I forgot. I just completely forgot about Nico Robin somehow. Ooh, Nico Robin in her cowboy hat. I don't know how, chat. I've wondered. I've had sleepless nights over how I made that mistake. It just happened. Which is why eventually we will have a part 2 when I get enough baddies for a baddie part 2 tier list. I don't know what just fell on the floor, so I just have to pray that it wasn't something important. I have no idea what just fell on the floor, and I don't know where it went. I have to pray that was a gate. I understand Haman brainwashed Chara, but like, why did she also change her uniform into like being fetish gear? That's a question I'd like to ask Haman from Double Zeta. Like, okay, so you brainwashed them to be more loyal to you. You brainwashed the Rose guy, whose name I forget, and Chara, so that they would be more loyal to you, and, you know, they could not even conceive of betraying you. Okay. Why... Why, why does the Rose guy look like he's about to go to a nude calendar photo shoot? And why does Chara look like she's about to go to a BDSM dungeon? What was it? Why did you do that, though, Haman? I'm just curious. Like, I ain't judging, you know? Really, I'm more impressed, if anything. I love how even when it gets serious, Double Zeta Gundam is still kind of silly at the end of the day. Even when the story starts, you know, getting into that classic Gundam, war is bad, everyone must die. Still kind of silly. Like when they pull out the Dozen Wolf. I'm having trouble finding these. When they show off the Dozen Wolf and they literally just go, God, this is really ugly. Which I feel so sorry for whoever designed the Dozen Wolf, that in the anime, even in the anime, they just went, this is ugly as hell, and that's a line in the anime. It's just like, could you at least like paint it a color that's not so hideous? And it's just like, nah, this is the color it is, bro. Get over it. I don't know if I can think of another mobile suit off the top of my head where they just went like, damn, this shit's ugly as hell. It was so ugly that they had to say it in the anime. I can think of an example where they were like, oh, this is like weird or this is silly looking, but I can't think of one off the top of my head where they're just like, this is an affront to like human vision, man. What were you thinking? So I do like how the Dozen Wolf's gimmick of how it has, what is it, like pseudo new type mechanics. It's not a new type mobile suit, but it's one of those mobile suits that's supposed to make it so that normal types can compete or replicate new type abilities. Which I really like how they did that in Gundam, how they didn't just, you know, have a runaway power creep with new type abilities. They made it so that old types would have means to compete with new types. And the Dozen Wolf does it by having its hands pretty much connected to cords and free fly like that. So instead of controlling it through new type shenanigan mental powers, you just have a power line that's really hard to see that, you know, keeps it connected to your mobile suit. I always forget his name, which is unacceptable because he's my favorite old type in Gundam. My favorite old type pilot. But the one dude who keeps going up against Camille, not Jared. Not Jared. The other blonde guy. The guy who they brought in to kind of replace Jared, in all honesty. They're like, Jared's a jobber. Here's this dude. We're gonna call him the Beast. It's like, why is he called the Beast? Because he's gonna go toe-to-toe with Camille and hold his ground in multiple fights. Damn. Wait, like what Camille? Late Gundam's, late Zeta Gundam Camille. Damn. And this guy's an old type? Yes. Wow. Like, that's amazing. Also, he's gonna be one of the only people who survives the final conflict. The final battle of Zeta Gundam. And it's just like, he gets to survive that shit? Yeah. And he's crucial to kicking off the plot of Double Zeta. Damn. This guy's doing work. The guy is known for being such a good rival to Camille that in, I forget what game it is, but there was a clip, I think it was either earlier this year or late last year for like a new Gundam cutscene, and Camille's not fighting Jared or anyone else. Camille's fighting the Beast, because that's his rival. This old type who's holding his ground. Who's an absolute prick, absolute a-hole, but he's really good. He's just that good. It almost fell off. Okay, let's see here, and then... After I'm done with Gundam X, what Gundam series am I supposed to watch again? Well, that's a question I have to answer. I've literally had to wait to pick up Gundam X so long that I forget what I'm supposed to watch after Gundam X. Was it Gundam Unicorn, or was it Gundam Seed Destiny? I think it was supposed to be Seed Destiny was the one that I was supposed to go to next. Because what I watched before Gundam X was Gundam Seed. And I didn't want to go into Gundam Seed Destiny immediately because I was not a fan of Gundam Seed. So I was like, I need a break. And so I picked up Gundam X and I was like, yeah, this is a good break. And then I got busy. Wish I would have gotten busy during Gundam. Actually, no. I'm happy I did not get busy during Gundam Seed, because then I'd have to, like, you know, after a month of not watching it, go back to it and be like, yeah, here I am again. I've made life decisions that have brought me here again. And I regret them still. Did it? Who's your favorite character from Gundam Seed, Flame? But Flame's awful. Like, she's a terrible character. That's why I like her. She is peak crazy Gundam woman. Her existence is just to make every other character's life worse. And that is hilarious to me. That's her entire character. And also her death at the end of the series, which I don't care that I'm spoiling. Her death at the end of the series is the funniest death I have come across in Gundam so far. Because Kira is about to get his redemption from failing to save a character earlier in the series. And it's kind of like this moment where it's like, oh, we're recreating earlier on when he failed to save this person. But like he actually succeeds in saving, you know, the shuttle this time. You know, this time he's succeeding in saving it. A shot comes from off screen from some random direction that there's no mobile suit even over there. It just comes from off screen, shoots the shuttle, blows it up anyways. And it's just like, that's amazing. That's the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. And the reason that happens is because the writers remembered at the last second, oh, wait a minute. That shuttle has Flame on it. The worst character in the show. We can't have him save her because, like, that would actually kind of narratively be a bad thing. So she dies anyways. It's so silly. It's silly, but I love it. The one thing I'm not looking forward in Gundam Seed is it's already been spoiled to me. That Flag, or however you say his name, comes back from the dead. Which is a real bummer, because his sacrifice was actually, like, a really good moment in Gundam Seed. And I don't even know how he comes back. I'm gonna guess it's like Kira surviving, you know, a nuclear blast to the face. It's not gonna be explained at all. Sorry, not nuclear, but just surviving a big explosion to the face. This won't be explained. That's just something that happens in Gundam Seed. Kira with an exposed cockpit gets latched onto by another Gundam, and that Gundam explodes, just self-destructs, and then next time we see Kira, ooh, he's not even on Earth because it exploded on Earth. He's in a colony, in a bed, and it's just like, how did we get here? What's going on? It's like, don't worry, he got hurt from the explosion. He has some bandages on. The dude's less hurt from his mobile suit self-destructing than Hero was when his mobile suit self-destructed. Like, that shouldn't be possible. Like, bro came out of that explosion cleaner than Hero. His plot armor is thicker than Hero's, man, from Gundam Wing. I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know that could be done. Gundam Wing is also kind of like Double Zeta going on to Gundam Wing. It's kind of like Double Zeta where it starts off really, really silly. And instead of being kind of comical, I mean intentionally comical, like Double Zeta, Gundam Wing is just unintentionally comical, but very intentionally melodramatic, which just makes it funnier. Until like halfway through the series where things are, well, actually it's more like a third of the way through the series where things are like really starting to pick up plot-wise. Everything is established, so everything can, you know, start shifting. The chess pieces are moving and everything's happening. And the plot really starts going. And it starts like, has this kind of awkward transition period, and it's actually kind of reflected not only in the plot overall, but actually if you watch the dub, it's reflected in the dub because the actors go from having no idea what they're doing with the characters, which is more a result of bad direction, to starting to figure out like what the characters are at the point when Oz is carrying out all their coups against, you know, I can't believe it's not the Federation. But like they're starting to figure out what they're doing. And in all honesty, I had to switch off from the dub because the dub went from funny to being like, they're actually like getting better at it, but it's really awkward because they still haven't found their footing with the character yet because again, they have no direction. So I just had to like for 10 episodes go off of the dub. But then you go back onto the dub in like episode 30 or like in the mid 30s. And the English dub is completely different. Like not the cast or anything. It's just that where they're all like being super melodramatic and like over the top. They are still being melodramatic because it's Gundam Wing. But the actors are more dialed into their characters. Kind of crazy. Let us see here, and let's start building the shoulder. That's not correct, Merrick. There it is. Oh, Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories is like Samurai Pizza Cats or Sin-Chan, where an American company just got the rights to like to the anime in the West, but they didn't have any obligation to do the dub, so they just went like, ah, screw it, we're just gonna like riff track it. It's so weird but so funny. Ooh. Hold on, I'm confusing myself because I'm a little dumb. But I should probably re-watch Ghost Story sometimes. I have not watched it in a hot minute. Polycaps. What? Did I already cut these off? I already cut these off. Okay. That's embarrassing. I do not like how loud my computer is right now. That's concerning. Ooh. Yeah, they had... Ooh, I feel like kind of English dubbing got pretty nice in the early 2010s, like late 2000s, early 2010s. And it's been kind of a really bad mixed bag since then, because now you'll have dubs that are like, they don't know if the anime is going to be popular, so if they don't really care about the anime, they'll just put like the B or C team on it. But if the anime ends up being really popular, you just have some really, really not so great voice actors working on it. Who, like in English now, and that's kind of just becoming a little too common. But with things like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Hellsing Ultimate, kind of that era, it was pretty clean. Can we please plug in? Thank you. Black Lagoon, earlier than what I was talking about, but Black Lagoon is also a pretty solid dub. Black Lagoon is one of those animes that actually benefits from a dub, because like the characters are meant to be speaking in some moments English, like in the whole Japan arc of Black Lagoon, the characters are supposed, like Revi can't speak Japanese, you know, so having her, that's why Rock has to be there by her all the time to be her translator, because he's Japanese. Ooh. So actually in the dub it kind of benefits from her, from like them, from that aspect. Ooh. And then this goes here. This isn't plugging in correctly, and I'm gonna have to address that off stream because I don't want to fiddle and diddle with it. And then this goes here. Hold up, I'm a little lost in my place. There we go. Oh, hell. Oh, best. Hold up. Hold up, YouTube. Give me 1 second to clear the Twitch bot. Ah! I forget that happens. I have the Gia actually. Thank you for recommending it, though. I actually really like the design of the Gia. I think I bought it before I bought the Gyan. I have mixed opinions on the Gyan itself. Ooh. Because it's a little awkward in some spots, I think, but I like it overall. But the successors to the Gyan, I actually am typically a pretty big fan of. Like we have off screen right now, I'll put it on screen. We have a Sigrun, which is a obvious successor or alternate universe kind of variant. Ooh, I really like the successors and variants of the Gyan. But thank you for recommending it, but I do already got it. Please. Yeah, this one also isn't plugging in. It's all like not going in all the way. I know I have the right pieces, so I just don't know why it's being a little awkward there. Actually, in February, the Gia was on a poll. However, I think it was on a poll with the Gyan, and I think all of the votes that would have gone to the Gia just went to the Gyan because, you know, it's 1 year war and it's a classic. That's actually pretty cool detail. Ooh. Ooh, that Char used again. It's actually kind of thematically pretty fitting as well for what you're describing. Him being a knight defending the remnants of Zeon. Because even though he hated the zombies, I don't think that's actually really explored all that often by the fan base, that is. How Char, though he despised the zombies with a burning passion, he still cared about Zeon simply for the fact that it was the legacy of his father. So, actually, I don't really, yeah, I can't really think of a lot of fans who actually explore that, kind of, not contradiction, but that kind of complexity to Char. And then again, in the... I think what fell off might have been... No, it wasn't. Ooh, but then again, in the animes, there's not a lot of room to explore. But I do know that there's plenty of manga that take place in between Zeta and the 1 Year War. And I know those explore his more complex feelings and relationships with... his more complex feelings and relationships with Zeon as a whole. I got an itch. There we go. There we go. And then... my brain malfunctioned. Do they not have it? Wait. Oh, Galbadi Alpha. Okay, I don't know. Did I do this wrong? Humor me for like 1 minute, chat. I think I fucked this up a little. Sorry for cursing. Galbadi Alpha. Oh, okay. Ooh, I'm gonna guess the Galbadi Alpha is separate, is like a prototype suit and not just the Galbadi, because I thought it's a rarer high grade, but I think the Galbadi is a thing, or am I thinking, oh wait, no, am I thinking of the Gadfly? Crap, I actually can't remember. Yeah, okay, so it's, okay, so it's different from the Titan mobile suit. I do like how the Titans are literally just, their existence is to go, yeah, you know what, like, evil can come from any side. Like, you know, the Federation, though they had flaws in the original Gundam, they weren't like the big bad, so we weren't really able to explore the flaws of them. So they just pretty much just have the, kind of the baddies of the sequel series being literally the Federation. Mind you, it's a small sect of the Federation, but it is the Federation. I do find pretty impressive and just in general daring. Ooh, not a lot of series I think would just like go, yeah, okay, like now that those are dealt with, you know, let's just show how, you know, just bad shit can arise from any side. And mind you, Zeon rebelled in the first place, predicated on the detachment of the Federation. There we go. We are... God, if we didn't do prep, this would have been like a 1-day build. Holy crap. Why are the builds I keep doing so quick? God, we had the Scope Dog from... My brain just malfunctioned and I forgot the anime crap. We built the Scope Dog. That was literally just a 2-hour build. We made the Sigrun. That build was only 2 hours. And it looks like this is also going to be just a 2-hour build, not counting the prep work. Okay, off stream. Either wrapping up or off stream, we can fix this up. Do some panel lining here to make it look even prettier. And arm. And arm. That is not the correct one, Merrick. There we go. Oh, Cyclops. I just like, my brain's sometimes a little stupid. I read Cyclops, then my brain went, no, that's Cyclone. Then my brain went, no, 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 that's actually Cyclops. Then it went, I'm fucking with you, that's Cyclone. Nah, that's Cyclops. My brain literally just malfunctioned reading a single word. It's a splinter faction, of Earth Federation. Ooh. The crossbone is one of those... It's one of those secondary products from the Universal Century, one of the in-between chapters, where people always want... That's not the prettiest, I have to admit. Always want an adaptation, and people like this, when will you adapt Crossbones? And sadly, considering that they've already made a high grade for Crossbones, it's probably not going to be anytime soon. One of the worst signs for like them doing something like that is when they make a high grade of like the main mech. Ooh. Which is a little frustrating. You're like, you get the main mech, awesome. That also means that they're probably not going to be like doing a line of it, because if they were going to do a line, they would have waited to release the main mech. Ooh, the lead Gundam. But it is still nice, the fact that you can get the Crossbones real grade, you can get it high grade, you can get actually multiple variants of the F91 as well. You can get the blue version of it, you can get the, you know, the movie version of it. Nice that we have them nonetheless. It does kind of have that Mad Max feel for like, it is kind of Mad Max feely with the cloaks and whatnot. Ooh. That's good that you can see different. I do love that about the Universal Century, because it has that history that you can just see older mechs appear in later stories. Either because they're just... Sorry, either because they're, you know, it's just... Here's a suit that is... My brain is just malfunctioning for some reason tonight. I'm so sorry. It's like how you can see the battleship is actually... from the 1 year war that the Federation was using is still present even in Victory Gundam and whatnot. Like, it gives a little bit more breadth to the history, the fact that you can see the older mechs. And it's not too dissimilar from history, and the fact that there are places in the world where people are still using Sherman tanks. You know, like, in America that might sound weird because Sherman tanks are so old, but in less developed places, Sherman tanks, pretty reliable. Easy to fix, easy to service, you know, just still using them. Ooh. O Bandai. Do you mean P Bandai or is there like a fucking black market Bandai that I'm not aware of? Let me check that real quick. Ooh. I'm gonna guess you meant P Bandai because O and P are right next to each other. It is annoying, P Bandai, when they do that. Though I will admit, I do find it a little more forgivable when it is something more niche, like a manga. When it's like a manga or a custom. It's a little more justifiable. It's not like, as we were talking about earlier, how they were just like, oh hey, here's G Fighter or G Gundam, whichever one you want to call it. And it's like, yeah, those are premium Bandai. And it's just like, but why though? Here's the Death Scythe custom. It's P Bandai. Death Scythe custom, favorite mobile suit from Gundam Wing. P Bandai. God. Just God forbid I'm allowed to have happiness. And the F90 UC1, yeah. I do like, yeah, I was about to say, you say refine and upgrade, yeah. I do like how the Oldsmobile Army, as they're called, are literally just the South will rise again mentality. They're just like Xeon was like, they're literally, Xeon did nothing wrong, dude. Not even in their mech design. Everything they did was perfect. We're just gonna build the same, like, we're gonna build newer mobile suits. But we're gonna, like, use the same, like, templates. Like, we're gonna throw Zaku armor over top of it. Like, it's technically a new mobile suit. Or we're just gonna upgrade Zaku's. But it's just like, it's actually pretty realistic, the fact that they're just like, yeah, the Halcyon days, the good days. Am I losing my mind? I'm so confused by this hand right now. My apologies, but we're gonna stop by building the head, and then we're probably gonna have only like an hour-long stream on Wednesday. But I'm so confused right now, chat. I'm trying to build this hand, but I don't understand. It's like, here's the hand, but it has no... Did I cut it off? No, that was a gate. So I didn't cut it off, but like the back of the hand appears to be this. Let me show you. But it also doesn't have a plug-in. So I'm a little besides myself with confusion here. Like, oh, wait a minute. So there's gonna be another piece that... But there's no other pieces. It just says build the hand, and then it goes to the next part, and it's the arm. So where's the other hand? It's here. Okay, it's B26. Okay, we're gonna just do that right now. Okay, it's a little weird that it waits all the way until then for the fancy hand, but whatever. This is neat, actually, that they did this. Ooh. Because, I'll take it off for comparison, the Sigrun also has a tilted hand. I need to read Gundam Crossbone. That's one of the ones that I really want to read, actually. Ooh. One of the wacky things about... God damn... My apologies for getting distracted. I just had the thought of... I had no idea where my high-grade Gundam Crossbone was. I was like, wait a minute. That's something I need to make sure I know where it is, and... I don't know if I can do this with gloves on, so I might have to do this off stream, so we're just gonna put those there for the moment. Just don't worry about it. Scientists created a bunch of new type monkeys to see... and the legs and the... Oh my god, I have seen that. I forgot, but I have seen that. Where there's like a Zaku, which has a lower, instead of legs, it just has more arms, because it's piloted by a fucking chimp. I did not know that was from the Crossbones, though. I thought that was from, like, Gundam Build Fighters, because that seems like something that would be just in there for some reason. Like, that just, like, usually Gundam Build Fighters is, like, where they kind of put the, like, where they put the stuff that you wouldn't really find in UC, but also, it's the UC, so it's just like, fuck it, we can get away with this. Oh my god. Holding 4 machine guns. It's like oh my god. Imagine if that were General Grievous's design. Like, instead of big claw, instead of his arms separating, he just has, like, hand feet. Gotta do that in the... Not in design, but they do have him hold lightsabers with his feet in, what is it, the Gendy Tartakovsky miniseries. Okay, we're building the head. That's what we're doing right now. And let's make sure the paint has dried. The paint did not dry all the way, so we actually kind of scuffed it a little. Okay, that's a little disappointing, but we'll be extra careful while building the head so we don't worsen it. Yeah, chimp new type, that is... I mean, why not? You can make cyber new types out of people, why not chimps? Why not? Some people look at the insanity of the UC and ask why, while I look at it and ask, why not? Okay, with this, we should be wrapping up though, and I'll get you guys to a nice other stream to link out to. Can't raid, too small. Just because you can't raid doesn't mean you can't link you beautiful bastards out somewhere. But... oh my god. I almost just cut that at a really bad angle and took away some of the mold. I didn't, but it was very close. I almost messed up. Okay, so... are you the back of the head? You're the back of the head. I think. I don't... you have a very weird head, my boy. Okay. And you go... oh god. You just had to go with the paint, Merrick. You just had to go with the paint. Okay, once we get this on, though, it should all come together. It should look beautiful. It should look majestic. Really? Really? Come on. Okay. Crap. It's that moment. Oh. Okay, you know what? Because I pointed out that it was happening, it got fixed immediately. That's what you need to do. That's all you need to do. You just need to make it self-aware, chat. Make it self-conscious, and it'll fix itself. I have not actually gotten third-party kits before, because I usually don't go online for kits. Ooh. But if they're good, I might get a recommendation. And that is off-center very slightly. You see how that's off-center ever so slightly? See how that's just a little... he's just looking to the side ever so slightly? Yeah, he's just... it's ever so slightly off-center. I don't even know if you can even appreciate that. But I know it's off-center. And so I'm dead inside a little bit because of it. Ooh. I'm suffering. And I wanted you to see it, so that way you can feel my pain. Honestly, though, it feels like this is one of those kits that you probably want to make the eye off-center. Like, just put it to one side. Oh, wait. No, I thought it's because I put on the head wrong. No, it's just off-center. You want to put it to one side because it's going to look a little more striking. What? You had to make a sandwich? Who the fuck are you? Charles Bronson in Death Wish 4? Who the hell are you? I'm making a sandwich. Like, what are you doing here? Making a sandwich. If you have not seen the Death Wish movies, the first two are very dark and very gripping. Because it's about a vigilante. It's about a well-mannered man who becomes a vigilante because, you know, very bad things happen in his life. Then the third one gets a little silly. And then the fourth and fifth one are just off the rails insanity. They're amazing. It's a clone P Bandai kit. Okay, okay. I'm not as big of a gym guy as other people. But there are some gyms I do really, really like. And the Gym Spartan is a pretty popular one, though I think that was actually on sale recently for P Bandai. By recently, I mean like late last year. I'm not sure if I'd get that. If I didn't get it when it was P Bandai, I might not get a clone. Not dishing on the clone, more just saying that if I wasn't interested to begin with. Okay. And let's do some... Let's actually, while we're here, because we still have... Oh, no, we don't. We're at 2 hours. Okay. Well, before I go, I do want to try to get this hand, because I'm going to forget about it off stream. But let's try to get this hand. Let's struggle and see if we can do it without failure. I don't remember what this came with. This is my favorite thing that I've ever gotten with something else. It wasn't even a gunpla kit, but I don't remember what this came with, but this reinforced pick is like the best part separator I could ask for. Because though it can't get into places quite as tight as the metal one, it's also not going to damage anything like the metal one. The Macalana. I just gave up on saying that one. Macaulay. Oh, is it just Macaulay's from the Witch from Mercury? Reminded me of the Gyan, because the... I think that might be a Gyan successor. I know there's a Gyan successor in Witch from Mercury, and it has like a star-shaped face, if I remember correctly. And like, it doesn't have pin needles, but I think like this, like the Sigrun, it has like wires. This, of course, doesn't have the wires in them because you have to plug them in, but it has like wires that come out of its shield. I think that's... Ooh. And it also has really, really tiny feet, if I remember correctly. Like, super tiny feet like the Sigrun. Ooh, the Gyan successor in Iron-Blooded... Almost said Iron-Blooded Orphans. Witch from Mercury. To the point where I'm kind of thinking that it might have been more based off of the Sigrun than the original Gyan, in all honesty, now that I'm making the comparisons. I know that one is really hard to... If it is the one that I'm thinking of, if we're thinking of the same mech, I know that's really hard to stand up on its feet. The Sigrun, even though it has tiny feet, is actually really not easy, but it actually is not too hard to get to stand up. And when you have it standing up, it looks really striking, and this is a really unique wrist situation. Usually the wrists are just locked in like this. I don't know if I've built a kit with a wrist like this before, where the angled wrist isn't set, but you can actually move it around like this. And this is really cool. And I wish more kits did this, because this is really, really nice. Because I can see this being, well, just good for posing. You can have him, like, have the blade, you know, pointing towards him in kind of more of a fanciful, like, let us duel, and then you can have him... Oop, that was my bad, not the kit. But then you can have him, you know, thrust it out. This is pretty nice, in all honesty. It just have tiny little feet. I don't know if it has a shield, but I know it has wire, like, projectiles. It has, like, pseudo-new type things going on with it. But here's the kit so far. With its little bishop head. Let's put on the other hand. That is not the other hand. And we're going to put your hand back on Sigrun so we don't lose it, like we did earlier this week. But it looks pretty, like, already it's looking pretty nice. It has good proportions. Its head is a little more sunken in than in the original anime, which I think is a good feature. That having more of a collar fills out its form, like it's having, like the backpack, as you can see, goes up a little more to, again, balance its weight. Let's see here. Yeah, that's gonna look really nice, actually. And with the backpack with its head sunken in, actually, I just want to show this now. With its head sunken in a little bit and the backpack moved up, it makes it so a straight on shot doesn't just have the head poking out awkwardly from off the shoulders. It makes it so that the backpack flows, hopefully I can show this, kind of goes up and then flows into the head to create a more consistent silhouette. They're really nice. It's a very small proportional change, but it's very nice. Oh! Oh! I'm sorry, I'm sorry I just noticed the raid. Hello, raiders, but we are actually wrapping up right now because we have been building for about 2 hours and we're going to be finishing on Wednesday. It is a really nice kit so far. It is a very, very nice kit. But we will be back on Wednesday to finish the building of it. Ooh. Really nice. It's genuinely nice. Ooh, but if you want to see that, you can follow to see that later. But in the meantime, I'm actually going to send you guys off to somebody else to raid. Sorry that you get here just to get raided and off to somebody else. But I hope I can find you guys someone nice to raid to. 1 second. Oh my god. Get a large raid right as I'm finishing streaming. That's just the way. But I will find you guys a nice place to go. Let me find you a nice VTuber who's hopefully streaming some gunpla. Ooh, thank you for the raid though. Thank you very, very much. Build is, as I said, the build is very nice so far. We'll be finishing it on Wednesday. I don't want to practice nepotism and send you to a friend, but I'm... Oh, wait. What's this? You know what? I think I might just send you to a friend who isn't doing model kits, and I'm sorry for that. But they are... I don't know what they're doing. But I'm gonna send you to a friend at Tepis to pass on the love. And this is where it becomes awkward because I haven't raided in a hot minute. There it is. So I hope most of you can make that. Ooh, I can vouch for her. She's a very nice person. She's a wonderful person who I'll be streaming with on Monday next week. And I hope you enjoy what she's doing. She's doing Boba Bay, which I don't know what that is, but I hope you like it. And to anyone who is, you know, new or old, I hope I can see you again, whether it is tomorrow or on Wednesday when we finish this kit. And I want to remind you to have a great day and a wonderful life as I go and I find a stream to link out to on YouTube for those viewers as well. Ooh. And I cannot open up... I just remembered I cannot open up Brave because that actually crashed my stream last time for some reason. Well, it looks like everyone might be... is actually done streaming. I'll send you to this person. They're doing Minecraft. Ooh. So here you go, YouTube. remember to have a good one, everybody.